Good morning, everybody. So, the first presentation this morning, I'm Jean de Bernardi from Honeywell. I'm technical leader for refrigerants in EMEA, and I will present you this morning a new technology, a breakthrough technology that you may have seen in the exhibition, which is the endgame solution, technical solution for scroll compressors platforms. The agenda is quite large if you want to embrace this topic, but I will try to do as much as possible. But if we are short in time, I will put in the proceedings anyway the rest of the details, all right? So I will start with what we call the chiller roadmap. This is not our interpretation. This is where the market is going and is today. So depending on the technology of compression, you have several incumbent refrigerants. R-1234ze, R-410A was the main ones in the past. It's already a past story. And in Honeywell, we have two columns. The first one is the interim. This is what we are seeing as we speak. And this is the long term. So for some options, the long term is already in place absolutely, like the large centrifugal chillers, where they transition from R-410A to R-1234ze, a pure HFO, GWP equals 1 and A1, non-flammable. Then the screw and centrifugal compressors, oil-free centrifugal compressors, transition to R-1234ze, pure 1, and R-515B, which is I would say copycat, a very similar product. You cannot make a difference when testing. But this is A1. So we have two options, whether this is for outdoor, indoor, or very special underground situation, very small machinery rooms, large charges. So there is today, as we speak, an option to stay A1 while going down to less than 300 anyway. But the beauty of it is that the highest performance we reach with ZE, we can access with 515B. And the last question mark that was remaining, I'm now talking about the past because it's over, is the scroll platform where R-410A, high pressure, were absolutely king in the past. And there is a transition to R-454B, R-32 as well. Several options, very good options. There is no question. All these options are very efficient and good. But the problem is always GWP, at least in Europe. The F-gas will simply kill them somewhere in the future. So the topic of today is to show you what has been done to evolve the scroll technology from high pressure to low pressures. And obviously, this works with R-1234ze and 515B for the same reasons, which are the outdoors and indoors. Even though you can do 90% of the market or 95% of the market here, you need this one for special cases, right? So the next generation of scroll compressors, the long-term one, is running with these two refrigerants in the same compressor. Same compressor can do two refrigerants, no change. And I just wanted to introduce by the size, because when we start saying we go from high pressure to low pressure, people say, oh, but this is 3 times larger displacement, so you need much larger compressors. Absolutely not. This is the comparison between a R-410A 40-ton compressor, so 120 kilowatt, 150 kilowatt, and a ZE 40-ton compressors. Exactly the same shape, same size. So why ZE? ZE is obviously related to F-gas. It's a no-brainer, okay? It's meeting it's validating all the boxes. Okay, there is a lot of readings here, but important enough is the PD category, the Pressure Equipment Directive. ZE is classified as non-hazardous refrigerant, which means a lot on the chiller PED qualification and certification, maintenance, etc., transportation, storage. It has a lot of positive implication that a traditional A1, like certain A12 or A3, we'll have as a drawback. 515B is today the only non-flammable option with a low GWP below 300. And the interest, I said it, is the same technology using the two refrigerants, okay? Another additional benefit, and you will see it, is the possibility to increase the water temperature compared to R-410A. R-410A was stuck to 60, 65 for the best. Now we can go very easily to above 80, which is a real breakthrough as well, okay, in this kind of platforms. So let's go into reality. This is today where we could apply in chiller platforms and heat pump, where we could apply long-term solutions from roughly 70 kilowatts to 20 megawatt and above. It's feasible today, okay? Whether you run on centrifugal compressors, screw or oil-free centrifugal, or scroll compressors, now it's a done deal. What's interesting is to see the operating envelope. You can see here, the gray one here is the traditional R-410A. And there are two generations of ZE, we call them ZE scrolls, which are coming at the same time. You have one generation, which is the blue operating envelope, evaporating, condensing here. And this first generation can go up to 70 condensing, 70C. And the heating generation can go to 90. So you can imagine all the heat recoveries, water heaters, everything can be done now based on the scroll platform with long-term solutions, okay? There are 4 sizes, but I will let you go to the next slide to see the details. But obviously for us, the energy efficiency, I will give you a few data on that just after, is there. The total cost of ownership is quite interesting to discuss. The carbon footprint, this is obvious. And the safety first. This is the principle we are pursuing as well with this kind of models. So these are some results. There are 4 models, okay? And on these 4 models, I compared to R-410A in full load operation or part load operations. And what you can see that depending on the capacity, the unitary capacity of the compressors, we increase the efficiency versus R-410A between 8 to 11%. In compressor business, I mean, some of you may be in the compressor business, 5% improvement needs a breakthrough. We're talking about double breakthrough here in efficiency. In partial load, it's increasing as well, not in the same range, but it means that if you take this compressor on a seasonal efficiency scenario, you will win a lot. And we did simply a comparison of seasonal efficiency at a system level. This is internal Honeywell and by the way, Danfoss, who is the producer of these compressors, modelization. And we compare to screw system in a small range of the screw, where there is an overlap between scroll and screws. And here we are somewhere around 8% higher seasonal efficiency versus screws. So this is not only a possibility to go long term, but it's a possibility to increase efficiencies and increase water temperatures. So, components. Components, you have the scrolls, but this is not all. You have the brace plate heat exchangers, you have the micro channels, electronic expansion valve, 4-way valves. This is all available now. Remember that this range of traditional commercial scrolls ranges from 70 to 800 kilowatts. So this is what we can achieve with compressors. And obviously traditional commercial air conditioning, but now district heating, because we can go quite high temperatures. So this would be new market. Small district heating could be new market for scroll compressor platforms, where they were nowhere. And another one, data center, they were already there. And by the way, there is high ref showcasing here a data center chiller already using this compressor in the exhibition. And industrial processes, I think this is quite important to understand, that with these kind of compressors, you can go tackling the industrial processes over ammonia. So it's not only a change for replacing 410A in air conditioning. This is a change for long term, enlarging operating envelope, enlarging the possibility of application in most of the sectors. Against next best alternative, which are 410A and the interim solutions, this is obviously the very low GWP which is there. Efficiency I mentioned as well. It's after. 515B, I'm just insisting on that, but it has a beauty to be non-flammable. So in many places, many markets, in the US, for instance, where A12 is not always easy to implement yet, then you can already use the same chillers with the same efficiencies, same operating platform envelope, same water temperatures. So the new markets, yes, I mentioned it, small industrial cooling. I think this is very powerful. And I think heating, water temperature, I mean, we know that, replacing fossil burning gas or whatever, this technology will help a lot to meet the high temperature that is required by a lot of application for heating, okay? Drivers are there. We have the F-gas, that's sure. We know the phase down is absolutely drastic, and the revision, we'll see. It's not acted yet, but we cannot expect being anything else but stricter, okay? The prices of traditional HFCs and obviously interim solutions will increase. It's mechanical economics, right? We have countries like Denmark, Spain, that are taxing GWP on new installation now and refurbishment as well. So all these problems are erased with ZE scrolls. The Green Deal for sure, which finally goes together with the suppression of gas boilers. So there is a huge opportunity, and I'm sure all of you are fully on it, to replacing the combustion, right? And this kind of technology can do it. So conclusions. The objective of all that was, yes, to reduce the GWP and the carbon emission, for sure, but being more efficient. And there are some commercial talk here, but I'm insisting on the fact that matching this huge operating envelope is the first opportunity we had in the history of scroll compressor development, right? So application, back to that. Cooling and heating, and heating, I think, will become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. If I haven't said it 10 times, I haven't said it any one, you know. Industrial process, I do believe in that, and district heating, data center is already there, but it will be the bread and butter of this technology. But district heating will pop up very, very strong. So today, in the interim 454B, R32, etc., are good solutions, absolutely. I'm not challenging that at all. But then we have long-term solutions, okay? So this is it. I wanted to show you this one, and we have 5 minutes for question if you have any question.
These were done with Danfoss fixed speed compressors.
Yeah.
The market now is very accustomed to having inverter compressors with the associated seasonal energy efficiency ratios.
Yeah.
That go with it. These compressors, and I'll be looking at those, are still fixed speed.
Yeah.
And we see it as not acceptable yet in the market. That is a step back from that. So we're using Danfoss inverter.
Yeah, understood. I understood our question. So to summarize the question is variable speed versus fixed speed, okay? So traditionally in this range of chillers, the variable speed rises a lot of cost, right? So on this kind of chillers, which can be up to 12 compressors sometimes, depending on the number of circuits, you have what we call the manifolding. So these compressors are designed to be matched up to 3 compressors together on the same circuit, trio. So you have 3 levels of capacity already, times 2 circuits. So that it makes a lot of steps. And this is why in this commercial compressor range, you will have fixed speed for a long time. I'm not saying variable speed is not better. I personally published, when I was younger, variable speed versus fixed speed in chillers. There is a benefit, but the cost is really huge. I mean, the cost of a drive on this kind of compressor may be at least at the same level as the cost of the compressor itself. So that's the problem.
But that combination is already accepted in the air conditioning field. So talk about chillers, we talked about air conditioning field.
Yeah.
So that cost has already been adopted in that field.
Yeah.
So you're talking here about 12, but in the markets of Australia, New Zealand, Southeast Asia, they are a lot smaller modules. Europe, yes,
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is what we call the light commercial. The light commercial compressors are essentially based now on variable speed, agree, but this is roughly to 200, 300 kilowatts. This is the lower part of the range. But for that, I suggest you to discuss with Danfoss or with Emerson or with other companies and discuss with them with their plans on their roadmaps. Okay. Other question? No. Refilling a 410A unit. No, this is just no retrofit, just a new. This is just for new. Yeah, you cannot, first of all, you cannot retrofit a system which is based on A1 with A2L or A3, because you lose all the CE marking and all the guarantees around that, all right? So no, this is only new build, new business, new chillers. Last one, maybe? We have 2 minutes. Yeah, the slides will be in the proceedings. And because I have 5 additional, so it's too long. So I will place the 5 additional, which are more the possibility to change a boiler. So how do we change a boiler, these kind of things, explaining how it can be done. And they will be in the proceedings, okay? So you can just read afterward and use it. It's on the Chilventa site. Yeah, maybe you have to pay for that. I don't know. I mean, I'm just presenting.
What about your speech behind it? Is that a recording that we can download? Because you spoke very well.
Looks like we are filmed, so maybe there are some videos accessible as well. Huh? But you have my name. You can contact me on LinkedIn if you have more. We are more on the refrigerant side, okay? We have a partnering with R&D in Danfoss for this development, because it's our refrigerant and very advanced engineering, but we are partnering with all the compressor OEMs. This is the case of Scroll with ZE.